And men don't like me say this, but it's true. Like spiritually, women are better. They have more. They're more evolved. We're younger punks. So what happened was, is you were a warrior like man. I see you went over as your first life as a woman, and your warrior energy and the man you had been drew in a lot of abuse as a woman.
Good morning, my friend, and welcome now to Tuesday. Well, it's time to cut the karmic fat. Tonight we have a full moon, and in 36 hours, a lunar eclipse. And Sensei has the 3 steps to make sure you're not carrying any dead weight. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Tuesday Namaste today. Welcome to Namaste Today, a karma-free way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Christopher Witecki. I work in the modality of psychic astrology, and I'm on a personal mission to live in my heart, help other people come into their heart, and promote love and peace on earth. Namaste, my friend, and welcome to Terrific Tuesday. Well, as of today, a full moon begins, and not just a full moon. In 36 hours, a lunar eclipse. This is a powerful event that's going to tear away some of the plans that we once had. And before things get super intense, I thought today, while things are feeling good, we should decide what we want to cut and go. So I'll give you tips for how to select what to detach from in your Megascope today. But first, let's take a look at your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Tuesday, August 16, 2016. Looking ahead at the 5-day moodcast. Tomorrow is going to be cloudy and super spaced out as we lean into that lunar eclipse. Thursday after the eclipse, it's sunny and very peaceful. But Friday is sunny with a real chance of some tension. Today, however, I'm predicting sunny and super cool. In fact, it's time to determine what must go. The Great Human Walk has now reached step 24, Leo. That's very peaceful and beautiful. That means the ruling channel today is channel 6, I receive. And that means the ruling planet today is the planet Venus. Now our emotions are detached and feeling quite free. The moon is full and it's in Act 1 of Aquarius. And our mental focus is step 21, looking for fun. Mercury is at step 21, Virgo. So now that things are feeling groovy and the moon is full, today, not the lunar eclipse, is the best day to decide what you want to go. And in today's Megascope, I'll give you the tips for releasing the old. But first, grab a cup of tea and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is one of my favorites. Serious joy is a state of being. And I'm going to go into a little depth of why I've gone down this path of serious joy. It really is my whole mission. I came up with, the particular brand at some time. I can't even remember exactly when. Actually, I actually ran a chart when I came up with it. That's not true. I have the exact date of when I came up with it, actually. But serious joy for me has to do with enlightenment to some degree. I mean, you should know that I studied all the world religions that I could. I've studied many different sects of Buddhism. I'm a practicing Buddhist myself. And all of these, particularly Eastern religions, had the same goal in common: enlightenment. And this idea of what is enlightenment. Well, then once I started studying astrology, I actually could see in a person's chart where they were enlightened and where they were not enlightened. It's very, very clear. And this got me on the path to wow, I guess it's pretty clear. So in readings, I would try to enlighten the client and bring them into their full enlightenment, which is awareness of who you are, your potential, all these types of things. And I think that there's a deeper definition of enlightenment. But, enlightenment's not a sexy brand, but serious joy sure is. Because in my opinion, serious joy is what we are going for. Now, let me share with you what I believe serious joy is in my own personal experiences. My first recollection of serious joy was when I was 5 years old and my parents took me to Disneyland. Now, this wasn't the first time we'd been to Disneyland, but for some reason, this was the first time that I got to see the Electric Light Parade. I don't know if you guys have seen this thing, but I saw it when I was like maybe 1976. Let's see, 78, I guess, if I was 5 years old. So in 1978. So this is a parade of lights, basically floats of lights, and all of the Mickey characters and stuff are all wearing light bulbs and stuff, and they turn the park lights off, and it has this like robotic, cool synthesizer music with synthesized voices. Like, this is 1978. It kind of sounded like, it's basically rave music, like in 1978, which I later discovered later in my early 30s. But the point is this is my first point of serious joy. I remember this. I remember my father. I remember my mother. I remember her looking down at me. But basically, this parade of lights comes down the street, and I am just mesmerized. I am in a state of serious joy, where I'm just the color, the sounds, everything. And I remember at that moment as a child at 5 years old saying, I want to do this. I want to give other people this feeling I'm feeling right now. I want to give this to people. This is amazing. Okay, that was my first, what I would call joygasm. Okay, and it was just, my mom was just like, wow, that really affected him. You know what I mean? And my dad liked it because he's an electrician. There was lights, so it was one of those first memories that set an impression on me. That's why I think, hey, Disneyland is so powerful. You guys do not underestimate in this dark world what one moment to a child can do. So since then, I have wanted to help people come into their serious joy. It is a state of being. And I understand that we can't always have those profound moments, but that moment of heaven on earth, I believe it's a lot more common than we think. It is in every thread of every moment of our life. And the first thing you have to understand is that it's a state of being. All right. Now, there were so many things set up for me already in Disneyland where I was away from reality. I was set up for joy. It's the happiest place on earth. So there's a lot of setup. That's all that setup basically is what my service is about. Like, I get your date of birth and I find out all the stuff about you, and I basically get you into this loop where I'm telling you, basically just helping you focus on what is important right now and always keeping you alert of when something could go off course. By the way, when people get serious alerts, I want you to understand, and I say this because I want you to have serious joy regardless, to be in a state of fun and joy. We must be constantly, in every moment of our daily moment-to-moment awareness, be choosing out of the suffering and into the joy. Out of the suffering and into the joy. And I'm bringing up my service because I needed help with that. That's why I created a service. I needed reminders all the time to like ignore what's going on in the world, ignore all this crazy stuff, stay focused on your heart, stay focused on your feelings. And this to me is a state of serious joy. It begins, though, I will say, now that I've been practicing what I preach for a while, chanting, doing exercise. I mean, I think there's a lot of things you have to do to be happy. I have to say right now, I am seriously content all the time, and I have serious joy moments more and more and more. So to me, look in your life right now for, where you're pointing your life towards serious joy or where you're pointing your moments towards agony and despair. And that is the beginning, this mindfulness of state of being in joy and navigating into it. That is the beginning of your happiness. All right, friend, seriously. Let me go ahead and do 3 breaths and come back and do the Megascope for you on this fabulous Tuesday. We have some powerful stuff coming up, and it's time to cut and release. Yes, okay. So Spirit brings up actually something that I did not bring up actually in that little story, but I had meant to and forgot. So it's funny how I got reminded there. I'm also just clearing something here. And that is the part of being serious joy on earth. Serious joy on earth is that you have the opportunity to be unique. You have the opportunity to be yourself. You have the opportunity to be completely different from everybody else. Now, the idea of privacy is not true. Every spirit up in heaven can see everything you're doing, even in the bathroom. Okay, so there is no privacy on the other side. There's not even privacy of thought. As soon as you think about someone in heaven, boom, they're right there, and they're listening to you. So it's like, take advantage in this full moon to shed away all the parts where you're trying to be there for other people, and instead just be yourself and exactly who you want to be. That is the gift of life. That is your serious joy. Uniqueness and individuality and the freedom to be who you really are. Now, that said, I'm going to help you on how to release the old, because that's what we're going to start to do in the first 24 hours. You're releasing the old, and then we go into the full eclipse the next 24. Step 1. What flows the easiest in your life? What flows the easiest? Okay, whatever flows the easiest is something you want to keep. What is hard goes on the maybe let it go plate. Okay, and you might go, well, Chris, life is hard. Nope, not when your law of attracting it isn't, says Sensei. Step 2, what does not belong in your life? So identify what simply doesn't belong and get rid of that. Step 3, cut the non-belongs and cut the hard stuff. And this may go, this is so obvious. I know it's obvious, but when it comes to our personal life, we don't think in these terms, right? We don't think of what's the easiest, what's the hardest, what doesn't belong, what's left. That is basically what you want to do. But in this full moon, you want to say what is too difficult and what does not belong. Those are the two things you want to cut. All right, my friends, for those watched over in the personal Sensei service, today I'm going to give you a little advice on how to work with the knots, the power of step 8. So there's always negativity in light work. Believe it or not, there is negativity in the light. There has to be. There has to be in relativity. I'm going to talk about how to actually use it practically. And in your 3 o'clock eye candy, where are you not this full moon? So I'll give you some tips at 3 o'clock on where I think you should not be on this full moon in the next 24 hours. For all those who are watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. I thank you ahead of time. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at CWitecki. And if you'd like to know more about the bright star you really are, come on down to SiriusJoy.tv. We are a bright community, there to just be a beacon of light for everyone on the internet. Right now, if you sign up, you can watch your Megascope, and I go deep in my Megascopes. These are monthly videos I give my subscribers, deep on this video on what this eclipse means for you. So I would say anyone who does subscribe, go watch it again, and for those who are signing up, go watch it right away. Also, for those who've never seen my Megascope, I do have free July Megascopes live on my site. You can come on down to SiriusJoy.tv. You'll see under this Join Sirius Joy, you'll see a link to watch July and see what you think. All right, friends. Well, good luck in this first full moon. Be safe. Remember, Sensei loves you, and live, love, be.
So